Alrighty, hey everyone, sorry for such a long absence. I'm back and I am starting off with a big project. I'm going to be doing a back to school series starting this week until the end of August. In July I'll be putting up a new video every Friday, and in August it will be Wednesday because my first day of school is on a Friday, so I decided Wednesday was a good day. I will be doing videos all about back to school, and I believe there's 10 videos, including this one, so be sure to look out for that. My first one is going to be something that I wish that I would have found on YouTube before I went to school. If you guys don't know, I'm actually a freshman or I'm going to be a sophomore, but I was a freshman in high school, and it was pretty nerve-wracking. So I came up with a list of 12 things that all freshmen should know, kind of my tips to freshmen video, or, you know, whatever. So first I'm going to start off with orientation. Orientation is basically when you go into your school, you'll get your locker number, you'll get your, usually your homeroom assignment, and then they'll put you, sometimes it's like in a big group setting, sometimes they break it up by your homeroom and they just kind of talk to you about school and how things work at the school, and they get you familiarized with how the school works. And it's a great way for freshmen to kind of be prepared and know what they're going to go into when everyone comes to school on the first day. For me, orientation was the day before school, and all the freshmen had to report, and because I go to a Catholic school, so all freshmen had to report in their uniforms. And the first part of the morning, you had to go and get your pictures taken and buy all your books, because you buy your books through the school. And so you had to be there between like 7. School started at 8 o'clock. It normally starts at 7:55, but it started at 8. And so you buy your books, and then I went to my locker. I put some things in there, got all my books and my supplies in there just for the first day. And then we all had to report, after you got your picture taken, you had to report to the gymnasium, and they did kind of an introduction about the uniforms and about school board, did a fun little skit, and then the cheerleaders and the dance team did this big like performance type thing to kind of welcome us, and it was really fun. And then the principal kind of got up and talked to us about what to expect, and it was a nice kind of introduction, and I had a lot of fun trying to learn all about my new school. And then we broke up into our homerooms and talked a little bit there and got our schedules. And for the first day it was only a half day, so we got out at 1:30, and we did the short day schedule, which was basically when we went to every room, or all of our classes in order for the first day. And first the big sisters, which are like our mentors, talked to us each about a different rule or a different aspect of the school, just again to get us familiarized. And then the teacher would get up and talk to us about what the class was going to be like, what the expectations were, and some of them would even talk about what supplies you would need to get, which was a very good way for me to get ready. I actually bought all of my supplies before school, which was kind of a bad idea because most of the stuff I ended up not using very much. So this year I'm actually going to wait. I'm going to get like general supplies, like obviously paper and pens and pencils and the things that are guaranteed you're going to need in every class. But then some teachers want specific types of notebooks, some teachers want you to have a binder, some teachers want you to have certain colored pens. So I'll get all the general supplies first, and then I'll get the rest. So that's what my recommendation for everyone is. But definitely I think orientation was good for me because it just helped me get used to going to school. And so definitely go to orientation if it's optional at your school, which I doubt it is, but definitely go because it will help you. Number 2 is everyone is in the same boat. Just kind of remember that. My first day of school was so nerve-wracking because it's like, I don't know, I literally knew one other girl out of 160 girls because it's an all-girls school. and we weren't even that good of friends. I knew some girls through, like, I used to do swimming and speech and stuff, but I didn't know them very well. So that was really nerve-wracking, and orientation helped because I met a girl that was kind of in my same boat. She didn't really know anyone. We ended up not staying friends because of, like, differences in the way of thinking, but she introduced me to her friends, and her friends introduced me to their friends, and I eventually found a lot of people that were friends, and I'm kind of still in the boat where I don't have like solid friends yet, but I think that that's what high school is all about, is searching for that group of friends that will the principal said, you're going to meet your bridesmaids here, because a lot of the girls that they meet end up being their bridesmaids when they get married, because it's an all-girls school. So, but everyone's in the same boat, and you just have to remember that all of the girls are probably nervous and beg their mom not to let them go that first day, but they all made it through, and you can too. And you know, some girls are going to be more confident than others, and some are going to be nervous, but that's the good thing about the first day of school, is everyone is there and everyone has been in your footsteps. Which brings me to my next point, which is confidence. The more confident and the more highly you hold yourself, especially in the first like month of school, people are going to respect you more, and they're going to gravitate towards you more, because the more confidence you have, the more light you give off and the more energy you give off. And so if you're more bubbly and you really want to jump in and do things, you're going to meet more people that way. So I definitely recommend that you join clubs and volunteer for things, and that's the way that you're going to meet people. And through your classes is another way that you're really going to meet people. That was what was nerve-wracking for me, was meeting people. But for the first few weeks, I would just talk to a girl in my class before lunch and then walk down with her, and we'd just kind of sit together, and that's how I'd meet groups of people, is by sitting with them and by getting to know them. And maybe I wouldn't sit with them ever again, but I did know them, and I did know that that if I ever needed a table to sit at, they'd be more than welcome to have me there. So that's always, you know, if you are very confident about yourself, when you walk into the lunchroom and sit down and you're nice to people, then people are going to be nicer to you, and they're going to be more confident around you. Number 4 is hallways. This is something that I'm most angry about. Like, I'm not nervous about, but I just can't wait to see how chaotic it will be, because freshmen are notoriously known for being bad in the hallways and stairways. Now, it's not your guys' fault, because you don't know how things work. By the end of the year, you'll be just like everyone else in the hallways, but you're going to hear probably until Christmas, oh, this dang freshman, in the hallways, because you honestly don't know how things work. And it's nothing that you can really do but follow the rules. You know, walk on the right side of the hallway. You walk on, you always walk on the right side of the hallway. You know, so like traffic, you know, how you would drive. You always walk on the right side of the hallway, closest to the wall if you can. You don't want to be walking in the middle, because most people that walk in the middle are really annoying, and yeah. So you want to walk closest to the wall as you can, and don't walk on the left side unless you absolutely have to, because people are going to get annoyed, and that's when you'll hear grumblings about freshmen. The same goes for stairways. I know in my school the stairs are like this big, and you cannot walk doubles up and down the stairs. You have to walk in a single line, and don't be pushy or rude or mean about it. We have 3 stairways, 2 on the outside and 1 in the middle. And the middle stairway is always guaranteed chaotic, because it's a crossroads for everyone. It's middle, it's central, and it's easiest to get to. It's also the craziest. So if your school's like that, I just like press my chair down a little bit. If you're here, I'm gonna press it up a little bit. Sorry. So if your school's like that and you find, you know, my best advice is to avoid the middle staircase. It's, you know, unless you absolutely have to use it, don't use it because it'll just take more time than it's worth. So just be cautious and, you know, mindful of how you're walking in the hallways. Because, my voice. Because people get annoyed when you're walking on the wrong side of the hallway, and don't stop in the middle of the hallway to talk to one of your friends. If you need to stop, you know, get out of the way. Don't just like stop right there and talk to someone. Like either walk with them and be late to class, or stop out of people's way, like in a part of the hallway that isn't as busy, or wait until, you know, you're in the same class together, whatever, to talk about it, because that will 100% of the time piss people off. Okay. Number 5 is how to succeed in classes. I'm just going to give you a couple quick tips if you're nervous about if you're going into an academically competitive school, how you can still succeed in classes. Going into high school, I was average in my 8th grade class of 20 people, but going into high school was a lot harder for me. It was an academically challenging school where a lot of girls were super smart, and I thought I'd go in there and it'd be a piece of cake, but it wasn't, especially after Christmas. My recommendations are talk to your counselor. They can have a lot of good study tips for you, and they can help you to become successful. A lot of schools have student success coordinators, which your tutors can refer you to, which is also a great thing. They will sometimes help you take tests and give you test taking strategies, or if you're really bad at studying for tests, they can help you study for tests or homework, or whatever your weaknesses are, they will help you get better in that. Also at my school we have peer tutoring, which is where juniors and seniors in higher level classes are assigned to freshmen and sophomores who request it through their counselor to have a peer tutor. At my school we meet twice a week, either Mondays and Wednesdays or Tuesday and Thursdays. It can be before school, after school, or during school in your study hall, and it's usually a good idea if you're struggling. Like this year I know I'm going to probably need a French tutor, as well as a geometry and chemistry. So I'm going to go into my counselor and say, hey, do you have X, you know, is it possible to get someone like that? Or, you know, what do you recommend? So that's definitely good, as well as create a study space. I have found that my bedroom is not a good place to study because it's meant for relaxing and hanging out and sleeping, not for studying. So I usually study in the family room, in the kitchen, or sometimes in our spare bedroom where it's quiet and it's kind of away from everyone. So I definitely recommend finding a set space to study every day, to do homework, to study for tests, to get any projects done. So a spare bedroom is always good for that. And just talk to your parents first. Maybe they'll have some recommendations of places that you can study. And lastly for study is like just find something that works for you, basically, because one thing might work for someone else, but it might not work for you. So you just kind of have to find things that will work for you and stick to them, because you will see results. I'm gonna skip number 6 because I don't really like it. So I lied, there's 11. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, number 6 was just don't be cocky, don't walk in like you own the school, things like that. I'm sure everyone will tell you that. Number 7 is stay organized. The more organized you are, the easier it is to find things when you're studying at home. I'm going to kind of go through these ones a little bit. Number 8 is use your locker. The more you use your locker, the less you have to carry on your back or on your arms. Store projects. Sometimes we have this extra row of lockers, what we used to in freshman hall, and when girls would bring like brownies or stuff, pans would get kept in there for months, and it would get really gross. One tip that I do have is get a car freshener and put it in your locker, because it will keep it smelling fresh and delicious. So yeah, I mean, just use your locker. It'll save you a lot. Number 9 is find a stress relief. High school is stressful, and it's a lot more amped up from middle school. So find something that you know, can kind of help you relax and relieve your stress. For example, mine is working out. I love to go swimming at night. Usually, there's not really a set time that I go. I'll just go with my cousin and swim for about an hour and a half, and come home and I feel a lot better. I'm a little bit more tired, but I just feel like the stress of the day is gone because I distracted myself from it. If yours reading, or I wouldn't say playing on the computer because that can get you carried away, but set a time for it, say 45 minutes per every hour of studying. Or if it's playing outside with your dog, or taking a walk, whatever it is, find something that can help you to just relax from the day, because it will be high stress. Number 10 is don't be afraid to walk up and meet new people. That's the way that like I said, met a lot of my good friends, is because I walked up to a girl who looked, kind of like me. She was a little bit lost and a little bit afraid, and I said, hey, can I sit next to you during the assembly? And she said, yeah, come and sit with me. Because that is a guaranteed way to, she can open you up to friends that she knows and he knows, and blah, 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 and soon you'll know everyone in your freshman class. If your school's small, like mine, I know everyone in the class. So yeah. So don't be afraid to talk to new people. Talk to the person you sit next to in your class or your homeroom. For me, my homeroom meets every day. And for me, that was the best part, was I made friends first with the girls in my homeroom, and then they knew people, and then the people knew people, so yeah. Number 11 is go to dances. If your school holds a lot of dances, do not be afraid to go to them. Mostly freshmen, at least in the area that I go to school at, mostly freshmen go to dances because it's like new to them. They're like, oh my goodness, dances, and they'll go. And it actually is a good way to meet people from other schools if the dances are opened up to other schools. Sometimes they even have freshman welcome dances. I recommend you go. Homecoming, Christmas or winter formal, spring formal, things like that. I recommend that you go to, because a lot of people from throughout school districts will be there usually, and it's a good way to meet people, so I recommend you do that. And lastly, number 12 is just have fun. Freshman year is a really fun time in your life, and don't be afraid to go to dances or get involved or go to extracurriculars or go to varsity sports games or freshman sports games. Don't be afraid to, open up and just have fun, because freshman year is so much fun. And in a way, it can almost make you or break you. Not in the sense of popularity, but just freshman year is a fun time, and you're just getting into it, and you're just have fun and chill out and have a good time. So if you have any other questions, if you are going into your freshman year, I will definitely answer any questions you have, so leave a comment below and I will definitely get back to you, or you can message me. Usually I don't check my messages, but you could. Just leave me a question below and I will answer it. If you're nervous or scared, or what about this or this or this, I can definitely answer it if you're going into your freshman year. And I'm so excited to be doing this series, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye.